Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review, so if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. A lot went down in this episode, so let's just get right into this review. At the very beginning of this episode, Zell ends up meeting up with Sierra and he lets her know that he's really stressed out because now he has to tell Saucy Santana that because of his court case right now, he's unable to go with him to the VMAs, and Saucy Santana is supposed to receive a VMA this year, or at least he was nominated to receive one, and Zell was supposed to be there to support him. So in order for Zell to make things up to Saucy Santana, he decides that he's going to put together a really big birthday party for him, but I really don't know if Saucy Santana is going to be happy about this party that Zell is throwing for him, because Santana really does not like Zell's friends. He's made that very clear throughout the season so far. And since Zell is the one that's throwing the party, of course he's going to want to invite some of his friends too, so I really don't know how this is going to go. So Jock and Kendra end up having another conversation about Jock's youngest daughter's mother wanting to meet Kendra because Kendra is going to be spending some time around her daughter. Now, Kendra did apologize to Jock for the way that she was speaking to him when this conversation came up in the first place, but she did say that she stands on what she said, that she's not interested right now in meeting the mother of his daughter. I do understand where Kendra is coming from, and I do think that she probably wants to take a little bit more time before she decides to meet with this woman. But I do feel like in order for her to be around this child, she should meet with the mother of Jock's youngest daughter, because it will make the mother feel more comfortable with her being around her daughter. I mean, most people are very protective over their children, and you don't want to send your children anywhere with people who you don't know or you've never met before. Now, Kendra ends up telling Jock that they got invited to Saucy Santana's birthday party by Zell, and Jock is saying that he doesn't really want to go because ever since he did that interview where he said that he didn't really want to perform in front of the LGBTQ community, a lot of people have been attacking him for what he said. And look, I do feel like Jock could have worded what he wanted to say a little bit better, because the way that he said it, I can see how it could be offensive to some people. But I also feel like he has a right to feel how he feels, and I don't feel like he should be attacked for the way that he feels. I do think that he could have worded it better, like I said already, but people also do take small clips of what people say in their interviews and they don't watch the whole interview, so things could be misconstrued, because a lot of these blogs are very messy and they'll take the messiest clip possible and post it on social media, so you have to be careful for that as well. So because Spice has a lot going on with her health, she decided that she was going to put together a tea party so that she can share with her friends the information that she found out from her doctors. So she ended up inviting Sierra, Rashida, Yandy, and Renni to let them know what's going on. She tells them that she ended up finding out from her doctors that she needs to have another hernia surgery and that her doctors are trying to find out why some of her organs are failing. Spice said that she's not trying to focus on the bad things that's going on right now though, and that she wants to throw herself a celebration of life because she did make it through the surgery that she had the first time she found out that she was sick. And as soon as Spice said that she was throwing a celebration, Yandy ended up bringing up whether or not she was going to invite Karlie, and Spice seemed really annoyed that she even brought Karlie's name up. Now, she did say that she wants to reach out to Karlie, but she doesn't want to have a conversation with Karlie because Karlie always pretends like she doesn't know what's going on and that she's confused. And I agree with Spice on that. Anytime anybody confronts Karlie about anything, she acts confused and acts like she doesn't know what's going on. And to me, that's just her putting on an act, in my opinion. Spice said that before she has a conversation with Karlie, she really wants to write Karlie a letter so that Karlie can see the reasons why she's not her friend anymore, because anytime somebody tries to say anything to Karlie, she acts like she doesn't understand. So she wants things to be very, very clear to Karlie as to why she ended their friendship. I'm just getting a little bit annoyed with a lot of these girls on this show trying to force people to have conversations with each other that never goes anywhere. They tried to do that same thing with Renni and Erica Banks in the last episode, and that didn't work out, so I don't understand why they're trying it with Karlie and Spice. So because Jessica White does not want Saucy Santana to feel like he was blindsided by her when he showed up to the studio and she asked him to be on her song, Chaotic decided to set up a meeting between Saucy Santana and Jessica White so they can clear things up. And before Saucy Santana and his friend got there, Chaotic was being very flirty with Jessica White and she wasn't taking the bait, and I'm glad that she wasn't, because I don't understand why he's even with Erica Banks if he still wants to flirt with other women like he's single. He should just be single if that's what he wants to do. do. And as soon as Saucy Santana and his friend arrived, Jessica White was very apologetic to him because she didn't want to upset him by trying to get him to get on her song. And Santana ended up explaining to her that the reason why he was standoffish and he didn't want to get on the song with her is because he doesn't know her. That was the first time he was meeting her, and she was already asking him to do business with her, and he doesn't really do business like that, he said. And she was very understanding to what he was saying, and I'm glad that they were able to work things out. Now, once everything was cleared up between him and Jessica White, Saucy Santana started talking about this party that Zell is putting together for him, and he said that he doesn't even really want Zell to throw him a party because he doesn't like Zell's friends, and he knows that Zell is going to invite all his friends to be there. And that's what I said. I said Saucy Santana is not going to want this party because Zell is going to saturate it with all his friends, and he doesn't like his friends. I don't know how they're really going to work out, though, if Saucy Santana doesn't want to be around anybody that Zell likes. I just don't know how that can really work out. And Saucy Santana's friend that he brought with him to meet up with Jessica White and Chaotic brought up the whole Young Jock situation and him saying that he doesn't feel comfortable performing in front of the LGBTQ community. And Santana said that the only thing he wants to know is what Jock thinks is going to happen by him performing in front of a crowd full of gay men. And look, like I said, Jock could have worded it a little bit better, and I can understand why some people would be offended by what he said. But I do think that he has a right to his opinion and to feel how he wants to feel. And if he doesn't feel comfortable performing in front of a group of gay men, then that's just his prerogative. So it's the night of Saucy Santana's party, and Karlie ends up showing up, and she sits down to have a conversation with Renni and Sierra. And immediately when she sat down, Renni and Sierra started bringing up her needing to have a conversation with Spice, and Karlie wasn't really feeling it. But then because they saw that Karlie wasn't really interested, they started telling her about Spice's health and how her organs are failing and all this stuff like that. And so Karlie said that she would go meet up with Spice, but that she's not going to say anything. And look, I understand that Renni and Sierra, but mainly Sierra, wants everybody to get along with each other, but she needs to stay out of people's business. And I don't understand why Renni and Sierra went back and told Karlie about Spice's health issues. I don't know if Spice wanted Karlie to know any of her business. Now, Jock and Kendra also ended up showing up, and as soon as they approached the table where Saucy Santana and Zell were at, Zell immediately started questioning Jock about the things that he said in his interview about not performing in front of the LGBTQ community because Zell was offended because he thought him and Jock were cool. And Saucy Santana started questioning Jock about the comments that he made because he wants to know what Jock thinks is going to happen if he performs at a gay club, and Jock said that he doesn't have any hate towards anybody and that he's not homophobic. He just does not feel comfortable performing at a gay club in front of a bunch of men. That's just not something that he wants to do. He said he's just not comfortable with it, but he doesn't have an issue with anybody. And I like that Saucy Santana allowed Jock to have his opinion without attacking him for it. And they had an understanding and they were able to let it go. Both of them were respectful of each other's opinions, and I was glad that the conversation ended up going really well. Sierra will just not stay out of other people's business because she started questioning Saucy Santana about the way that he's been acting towards Zell. And Santana tells her that the reason why he's acting some type of way towards Zell is because Zell lied to him and was really at an after hours party and wasn't answering his phone. And Zell admitted in this conversation that he was lying about being at the after hours party because he didn't want to hear Saucy Santana's mouth. The thing about it is that if you lie about something, you're going to hear the person's mouth even more because you're lying. You make things worse by lying, so he could have just told the truth. And then after Sierra started this whole argument between Saucy Santana and Zell, she says that she doesn't want to get involved in other people's relationships, and she gets up and leaves. And it's like, girl, you're the one who started the conversation prying into everybody's business. I do feel like her prying into everybody's business this season is going to end up backfiring on her. So because Yandy still wants to give one of her eggs to her cousin Keisha, she decided to come up with a plan to get the brat and Judy to come meet with her in Mendici so that they can tell him all about the process. Because we know that Judy ended up giving one of her eggs to the brat to carry the baby, but they used a man's sperm for it, and so that's the reason why Yandy chose them. But to Yandy's surprise, they were actually siding with Mendici's on this because at the end of the day, that still will be Yandy's child with somebody else. And then on top of that, this is not a random person who she's giving her egg to. This is her cousin, somebody who she's going to be around and who her children are going to have to be around. So they're going to have to see this child that is Yandy's child all the time. And then on top of that, Yandy said that she's not going to tell her children that this child is actually their sibling and not their cousin. But at some point, those kids are going going to end up finding out about that, and I just don't know how they're going to react to it. And then also the child who her cousin will be carrying, that's also Yandy's egg, will end up finding out at some point that Yandy is their biological mother. So I just don't know how that whole situation will play out. But Yandy doesn't really want to worry about that because that's so far down the line. Now, Yandy still seems to want to give her egg to her cousin Keisha. And look, I applaud her for wanting to help her cousin Keisha have a child, because a lot of women want to have kids and they're unable to. And because Yandy is able to help her cousin have a child, I think that it's great that she's trying to do it. I just think that she needs to weigh out the pros and the cons of the situation first. And at the very end of this episode, Karlie and Spice end up meeting up with each other, and Spice tells Karlie that she wrote her a 6-page letter that she wants her to read before they have the conversation, so that Karlie is completely understanding of the reasons why she decided to end their friendship. Now, the conversation between Karlie and Spice really wasn't going anywhere. Spice was talking over Karlie. Karlie was trying to speak her piece, and it just really wasn't going anywhere, to the point where, you know, Spice started yelling at Karlie. Karlie started yelling at Spice. The conversation was just all over the place. But basically, Spice ended up doing a live stream on Instagram yesterday, and I watched it this morning. So let's go over what she said were the reasons why she's no longer friends with Karlie. So the first reason why Spice said she's no longer friends with Karlie is because when Spice was in the hospital in the Dominican Republic fighting for her life, Karlie was one of the people that was at the hospital, and a lot of people were upset with Spice and Karlie after she got back from the hospital because they weren't told any information on how to go visit Spice. And Karlie claimed that it was because she couldn't tell anybody, but really a bunch of people came to Spice and told her that Karlie actually did tell them where to go visit her, but it was only the people that Karlie likes that she was telling that information to. Spice also said that for Karlie's birthday, she made sure to celebrate it with Karlie without the cameras around, because she wanted to make sure that Karlie knew that she was being genuine. So she took her on a trip to Costa Rica and she paid for everything, celebrated Karlie's birthday very extravagantly, and she bought her a bunch of designer bags. But then when it was Spice's birthday, Karlie made sure that all the cameras were around when she decided to plan it. They were already in Jamaica because they were filming Family Reunion Love and Hip Hop Edition. And so the cameras were already there and they were already going on a trip to Jamaica. Karlie just put together a party on the beach, and people kept coming up to Spice telling her that Karlie was complaining about setting up the party and the cost that she had to pay in order to set the party up. So Spice felt some type of way because she didn't understand why Karlie was complaining when she did a whole extravagant birthday for her and she didn't complain one time. And she also said that Karlie got her a fake designer bag. Now, she said that Karlie can try to prove that it was real, but to her, she feels like it's fake and says that she has the proof that it was fake. And then the biggest reason why she stopped being friends with Karlie is because Karlie was friends with this woman who was a makeup artist, and this makeup artist was living with Karlie. Karlie was bringing this woman around Spice, having this woman in Spice's house, doing Spice's makeup and being cool with her, only for Spice to find out that this woman actually was the ex-girlfriend to her then boyfriend Justin. Now, when Spice confronted Justin and this woman who was the makeup artist, they said that the reason why they didn't bring it to Spice's attention that they dated before is because it was the past and they didn't feel the need to bring it up. But I'm with Spice. I would want to know about that. Don't be in my face kikiing with me and you dated my man before. That just makes you seem like you're being shady. And then after Spice confronted her then boyfriend Justin and this makeup artist who was Karlie's friend, she ended up telling Karlie about the whole situation and asking Karlie if she knew, and Karlie said that she didn't know anything about it. And then Spice said that Karlie was invalidating her feelings, saying that it was no big deal and that she really didn't need to know about it, in which I would be mad too if I was Spice, because I would want to know about it. And I feel like Karlie knew the entire time, she just didn't want to say anything to Spice about it. And then Spice ends up finding out that Justin, who was her boyfriend then, and this woman who was Karlie's friend and the makeup artist who used to do Spice's makeup were actually still messing around with each other. And so now Spice decided that she was going to end the relationship with Justin, don't deal with this woman who's the makeup artist anymore, and she decided to move out of her house in Atlanta. She just wanted to get away from all the drama that was going on, and so she bought a new house away from Atlanta, and then Karlie all of a sudden ends up buying the house behind her when Spice wanted space and peace. So after listening to Spice's live, I do think that Spice has a valid reason to be upset with Karlie. They showed the mild version of what Karlie was doing on Love and Hip Hop, but Spice said that she has evidence and proof of everything that she said in this video. So I'm believing her. I'm gonna believe what she's saying, okay? Do I think that Spice handles things right a lot? No, she doesn't. She's quick to snap at people too much, and she's too quick to be ready to fight. But I do think that in this case, especially with that whole boyfriend and Karlie's friend situation, that was very messy, and that is a reason for her to not want to be friends with Karlie anymore. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.